Hello, welcome to Souls Intersect. This reading is for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising signs, and it is for the month of June 2017. If you're interested in a private reading with me, feel free to email me at soulsintersect@gmail.com, or you can book directly through my site, and the address is below. Feel free to read through the descriptions on my site about my services. My approach is different than some readers. I am an intuitive reader, and that is actually the main focus of my readings. The cards for me are kind of just a frame or sometimes a prompt for information. I also provide past life readings, which are non-tarot readings, and you can read more about those on my site as well. Those are now only $35. All right, so I'm going to read through the cards first, and then I'll tune in. From the top left, you have the Ten of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. In the center, the Fairy Stallion, which is like the Chariot, the Nine of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. And then on the bottom, the Seven of Swords, the Magician, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. So with the Nine of Swords at the center of the reading, I do feel that it's coming through as restlessness for this reading. For some of you, it might be manifesting more as that worry or anxiety, but I heard restlessness. So I think that, especially with the Hanged Man there is a sense of possibly waiting for something, maybe waiting for an outcome to something, or waiting to understand intentions. I'm also getting of someone else. It could be one of these court cards. So there's the Queen and King of Pentacles. I'm getting a lot about marriage or a current partnership, though there could be some of you who are single or beginning a new relationship. So there's a sense of being uncertain about someone's intentions, and I feel like it's something that's really weighing on you. There may have been some information that has come through that has led some of you to decide or to consider leaving a partnership. So this isn't information about a possible breakup, like someone breaking up with you. This would be for those of you who are already in a partnership and have been considering leaving someone. So one of the reasons does have to do with intentions. I also feel like something has slowed down for you, then that's really been weighing on you. So that could be love. It could be sexual desire. If it's a newer relationship, it could just be like the pace has changed and you're discovering, because the pace has changed, that you're not as pleased with the dynamics between you and a partner. I'm also getting, for some of you who are single, that what's been weighing on you is the possibility of someone coming into your life. Thoughts about a soulmate, wondering what's happening, feeling like there are delays. This is where some of the worry comes through more. I'm feeling like you've been kind of going round and round trying to figure out. It feels like the way that some of you are perceiving it is what you're doing wrong, which is probably nothing other than worrying, because it feels like it's been maybe a while for some of you. And some of you are considering taking some new steps, doing something new to try to change that, to try to make it so you have a better chance of meeting a soulmate sooner. And then there are also, for some of you, someone already in mind and feeling like there are delays around that. Feeling like you're wondering how someone feels about you, and this is also where some of the worry comes through. So it feels more like worry for those of you who are single or considering entering into a relationship, and more like restlessness for those of you in one, that Nine of Swords. So if you do have someone in mind and there's delays, this might look like, the two of you socializing, maybe probably neither of you having come forward yet about feelings. And there's a lot of going over it in your mind and wondering what the potential of it is, if you should make a move. Maybe there's something in the way preventing you from making a move, from taking the first step. And my sense is that it's always best to come forward, and especially if it's nagging at you, if it feels like it's been agonizing for some people. And there may be different reasons for wanting the other person to come forward first, but my sense is that there might be potential and there might not be. So coming forward now, there's no reason to delay. And also another thing that's coming through is that unless there are really real practical reasons, logistical reasons for someone not coming forward, then that might be a sign that there's less potential. It's hard to see that sometimes because I think we can convince ourselves that, well, maybe they're just not coming forward for some other reason, or maybe they're waiting for me to. But that's another reason to come forward yourself, because that way you can at least eliminate the possibility that that's the reason there are delays. So I'm definitely sensing having these two odd number cards, which, swords can also have to do with odd number swords, and swords can have to do with not just thoughts, but also communication. My sense is that there's turmoil and mixed messages with these two odd numbers. So always speaking up is always going to clarify things. Okay. I also feel that for some of you, some of these delays might have to do with something work related. And there's definitely a lot of restlessness and worry about that. Starting a new job, waiting to hear if it's feeling like are getting a promotion or should take something else that maybe is being offered to you. Or that something else for some of you may be an independent venture of some kind. Maybe you've kind of given yourself an ultimatum, like if I don't get this this promotion, I'm going to go ahead and start this other business or something like that. It's feeling more like less a period of action, less a period where you're trying to make the decision, because I think you're still waiting to understand what's happening on one end here, probably with a current position and if you're going to get this promotion or if some sort of change is going to come through. And again, there's this question of intentions, someone else's intentions. So that applies to this work scenario as well. So in regard to that, because I do feel like it's really weighing on you with this Ten of Wands, and I feel like it's very linked to another figure, either this King or Queen of Pentacles. One I feel like is representing you, and there's this very strong work focus, being the Pentacles card. I think that someone is holding up the process, possibly intentionally, and that's not necessarily to harm you. So they're not necessarily intentionally doing it to you, but they're maybe intentionally doing it for some other reason. So my sense is that there is going to still be some waiting, but there's also going to be some movement. So it's just a matter of kind of negotiating that within yourself. It's not going to stay at a standstill forever, and I think that's something that you could tell yourself that might help you. Because although I do see it not moving right now, I also see movement coming. So that should offer some reassurance, and it might be, again, something that you can remind yourself. It's never likely that something is just going to stay stopped. I think sometimes when we get worried and impatient, it might be because part of us almost believes that it's never going to happen. And I don't know why we humans sometimes have those kind of fatalistic thoughts, but it's very unlikely that nothing's going to happen. So hang in there. No pun intended with the Hanged Man. One more thing in regard to the King and Queen of Pentacles possibly being current partners. It's feeling to me like, especially with these major arcanas coming through and that Ten of Wands really being something weighing heavily on you, the Nine of Pentacles there to me is hinting at this independence being a positive thing for you. So I do feel like movement is also coming in regard to that. In some ways it feels like a solid partnership, like a solid friendship, but I do sense some romance having waned or is waning currently. And that's definitely something you're going to want to address, because the sense I'm getting is that you're not sure that you are making the right decision. Maybe you're feeling like maybe I shouldn't be so focused on romance and sexuality or something along those lines, but you do deserve to be happy in that regard as well. And I think that that's a decision you'll be coming to. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have any questions about this, feel free to contact me or comment. And I hope you have a good month of June. Take care.